roll on in. And then we're gonna hop to it. We're doing fitness for figure skaters today. Turn up our music a little bit. Okay, let me check how we're doing screen-wise. I might move you over a tad until you down a bit. Bring it over here. There, hopefully that's a little bit better. There we go. You can see the floor a lot better now. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna go through basically a nice solid off ice warm up. We won't be doing any rotational jumps, but we will be doing exercises for rotational jumps, which is nice because they kind of double as just lower body exercises. So if you're not a figure skater, don't worry. You're still gonna get a pretty good exercise, you know, full body workout situation here. Option to use a resistance loop. We'll be putting this around here. You don't have to though. And then I have a band. We're gonna do some recline stretching at the end. So most of this workout is standing. We have a couple of on the ground exercises that just I personally feel like help with figure skating performance in general. So yeah, we're gonna give everyone a hot second to roll in. I'm gonna check and see how many we got. Okay, so first we're going to go through a full body warm up. That's our per usual with a few little added extra exercises. So I'm actually going to bring in a chair. This is my pretend wall. I'm going to hold on to this for stabilization as much as I can. Hopefully I won't kick anything. Yeah. So range of motion warm up to start with. Then we're going to go through some mostly lower body exercises. We're going to work on opening our hips, but using our muscles. It'll actually activate also our core quite a lot because we're working on our balance. Balance is really important as a figure skater, so we're going to be doing that. Then I got my yoga mat over there. We're going to come down to the ground just for a couple exercises for more core work, more glute work, and we'll of course do a couple push-ups and tricep dips because you do need upper body in skating. You know, for triceps, you know, when you're doing spins where you grab your foot and take it to your head, that's a tricep. That's a lot of tricep and biceps. So you want strong upper body, and you're fighting centrifugal force a lot when you're jumping. So you need to be able to have nice strong chest and biceps there. So yeah, let's hop to it. Let's see, I'm gonna go little calmer music for our warm-up. Okay, range of motion to start with. Step those feet a little wider than hip width apart. You guys already know this part, so don't freak out. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, drop that chin down. Go take another deep breath. Good, relax the back of the neck, take those neck circles. However slow or fast you want to go. If you find a spot that really stretches out a knot, you can hold it there. Breathe into it. And take it the other way, go reverse it. Slow, deep breaths. Awesome. Bring that head to neutral. Bounce those knees, roll those shoulders forward. And roll them backwards. Feel like you're opening up the rib cage, getting a little bit of an arch in that upper back. Posture is really important in skating. We don't want to look all hunched over. Even though skating is an intense sport, it's also a performance. So you have to look like it's not hard the whole time, which is easier said than done. Go ahead, tiny circles the elbows. We want our mobility. Go ahead, circle the other way around. sure I'm not going to slap anything. I'm actually going to step forward a little bit. Good. Open and close and try to keep those arms straight. Don't let them bend when they come forward. Okay. Now the next arm exercise is kind of a coordination thing here. So you take, I'll do it from the side. One arm goes forward, one arm goes back. And then you start to speed it up. Pause at the top, other arm forward, other arm back. That's it, slow. You can stay here. You're still working on that mobility. You got it in you. Speed it up. Okay, now let's twist it out. There'll be a lot of little coordination challenges in this because it takes a lot of coordination, mind-body connection in order to skate. Gotta like pat your head and rub your tummy and jump on one foot and stick your tongue out without biting it. That's like what skating is. Go circle those hips. And other way around. Good. Bring those feet nice and close together. Circle out the knees. And take it the other way. And bring it on up. Good. Roll out one ankle. And roll it in. Good. Other ankle, roll it out. And roll it in. Now normally I stop here with our range of motion warm up when we're doing normal workouts. We're going to add on here a little open of that hip. So take that knee across the body, up in the center and out to the side. We're just warming up. It doesn't have to be super big motion here. We're just getting some circulation to our hips. I call these frog legs. Good, last one. Now you can hold onto a wall, the back of your couch, kitchen counter. Just make sure you have space in front of you, behind you, and at the side. We don't want to kick anything, so check around. Make sure you got that space. I'm holding onto a chair. It's a little bit low for me personally. I could probably use that chair, actually would be better, but it's fine for today. I don't really need it for balance too much at this point. So we're starting with a circle. Our knee goes in, closing our hip, and then opening our hip. Similar to what we were just doing, but think looser. You want to kind of let it become dead weight a little bit here. So loosening up that hip. Let it swing. Good. Now we're going to take it forward and back. I need to pull my pants up for this one. Need a little more movement. We're taking it forward and back kick. Now, when you take it back as a skater, you need to be able to turn that toe out. We want a nice open hip position. So if your hip is like this, for skating in particular, when we stroke, we push with the side of our blade and we extend that toe out to the side. So we need a little bit of an open hip, but our hip bones and shoulders are aimed to this wall. If you are not a figure skater or a ballerina or a gymnast, and all of that requires, flexibility in the hips. If you're a normal athlete, you can keep it closed if you need to. It might be too much on your hip to open it. So we're taking it forward and back. Good. Now we're going to take it crisscross in front of us. I'm going to turn backwards for this. Again, this is a low chair for me, but we're taking it here. And again, that toe goes up towards the sky. You might take it closed if you're a normal athlete, but if you need hip mobility, try to turn your toe up. It might not go up as high in the air. That's okay. Good. Okay. Now, you know the 3 exercises. Same thing on the other leg. I'm going to lose a layer because I'm getting warm now. That's a good sign. That's the goal. We're trying to warm up our body head to toe before we get on the ice. That's the kind of exercises they are. So, loosey-goosey. Good, now we're taking it back. I think I'm gonna scooch forward a little bit. Trying not to take anything. There we go. And try not to heave the chest forward when you kick that leg back. Okay, now we're taking it side to side. Okay. Remember, toe up if you can open that hip. Okay. Next exercise, I'm going to be using my chair. However, if there's a bench at the rink that you warm up of, that's what you'll put your hand on. So let me set our other equipment aside before we get into other things. So, here is my bench. And we're going to be using this for a couple exercises. So we're going to do about, I forget how many we have. We have a couple. We have a couple, I think we have three. Three, but they're on each leg, so 6 total. First, we're gonna take it to the bench. For you, if the bench is here, you're gonna come this way. I'm turning sideways so you can see better. So, we're gonna turn one foot towards the bench, towards wherever the seat is in front of you. We wanna work on opening up our hips and working our glutes and our obliques. One hand is gonna come down, it can be on the wall if you can't get that low. If you can get all the way down to the chair, go for it. And then we're opening it up here. Now, this hip wants to close, right? This is great for camel spins and spirals. When people are first learning their spirals, they always dive forward and lift their foot up with their toe aimed down. We want to work on opening that hip and getting a better presentation. This will be very helpful on your camel spins. If you fall out of your camel spins a lot, that's because the weight of this hip is pulling you in, and we need to get over that standing leg. So this is good for that, and the landings. This is activating the same muscle that gets you over that landing leg. So toe in towards the bench, hand down. Start to open up like you're facing outwards. This is our half moon, right? Yeah, half moon in yoga, and we're just taking it lift and lower. We're trying to keep it open. Really think about trying to lead the toe and the knee upwards. Challenging that balance as well. Now keep it up there and pulse. Good, 8 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, good, bring it down. Fabulous. Little breather. I'm going to open the window so I can get a little fresh air. Okay, we're staying on that same leg here. I'm going to again turn sideways. You can try to do this without holding onto the wall if you want to challenge your balance. So we're taking an attitude position. What is an attitude position? It's something we do in ballet, but if you're doing laybacks or grabbing for a donut spin or for a Bielman, this is like a transitional position for that. You're holding your leg in this position when you're doing a layback spin. So we're going to start off, I'll turn to face you so you can see a little better. We're starting crossing the ankles. Now notice my knee is open to the side. A lot of this is open hip, but you're still level. You're not going like this. You're keeping it straight and you're just rotating from the one joint. And then you're going to lead with your knee, not your foot. We don't want to go foot first. None of this. That's hideous. We want to open our hip. Open our hip and lead with the knee. So I'm going to take it sideways. We're opening and closing. Now see, the chair is kind of low for me, so I'm just going to hold my arms out. And this, for me, is not the side that I do for my layback spin, but I never know when I'll need it for other things, so I keep them equally strong. Good. Now hold it up and pulse. Pulse again. Lift the knee, not the foot. 3, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, the same leg we've been lifting up, that's the leg we're going to be lifting up. We're going to do some pistol squats with the chair. Again, you can take it to the bench. So, make sure you're not too far away that you're going to like fall on your butt. Although in skating, that's good practice because we always fall, but we get back up. It happens. So, for starters, you're just getting into it. Put that heel on the ground, but check this hip. Is this hip popping out? Keep it nice and level. I'm going to take it lifted. And we're not doing too many of these because we don't want to tire ourselves out before we skate. And you can do more of these after you skate. There we go. Challenge that balance. This is my backspin leg. Usually I start with my forward scratch. Whew. Good. We're gonna do one more. And bring it up. Fabulous. Go ahead and loosen up those hips. Now we're gonna do the same 3 exercises on the other side. I'm gonna move my bench. So again, same thing, other side, taking that toe. What is that? Oh, it's just a twig. Trying to make sure I don't kick anything around me. Don't kick your neighbors. Be, aware of your surroundings, just like you are on the ice. Toes aim towards the bench. Hand on the bench, start to open that position. Open and close. This is our half moon. Again, open that hip, now keep it up and pulse. Keep lifting it up, nice and open. Good. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Little break for the hips. We've got that attitude position again. Remember, crossing the ankles. And you're leading with that knee, opening up the hip, but keeping everything nice and stable. You can hold on to the wall. I'm going to try to challenge my balance. This is the leg I normally lift for my lay back spin. So this is my stronger side. Cross those ankles, arms up or hold on to the wall. Lift. Lift. Lead with that knee. Again, stand up tall, nice and long. Nice and controlled. Don't fling it up there. Use your muscles. Hold it up and pulse. Lead with that knee. Stand tall. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Fabulous. We got the pistol squat on that other side. Good. Take it to in front of the chair. Again, you can try just balancing on the heel, but do not let that hip pop out. You want to go nice and straight back. Control all those hips. Use those glutes. That's why figure skaters got buns of steel. Everything is a glute exercise in skating. Good. Find that balance. We're taking it down and up 6 times. See, this is also my takeoff leg, so I have a little bit of an easier time coming back up. That's the easy part for me on the side. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Shake it off. Whew. I think we get a break from the chair. You're welcome. Taking it away from the bench, so to speak. And now our new favorite weapon of choice. We've got our resistance band. Now, if you're a super beginner, you don't really need to use this quite yet. I'm using a heavy resistance band. When I'm at the rink, I actually use a medium resistance band because I don't want to tire myself out. But if you want to get a super lightweight one, if you're just starting out, that's great. And they usually come in like a set of light, medium, heavy resistance. So you can work your way up. Okay, we're taking it and looping it. And we're using this for a couple exercises. We're taking it to just above the knees. This is way harder than the one I usually use. So I'm taking it back really far. We're going to set ourselves up in a slight little squat here. And we're taking monster walks. So step out diagonally. 2, and try to end on that second side and then back it up. Good. Now if you want to do a second set forward and back, feel free to do so. Because I'm using a heavier resistance, I'm not going to do that to myself because I do have to skate later today. And like I said, I normally go down a resistance. Now we're turning it sideways, doing our crab walks. So I try to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get about 6 in, so I try to do 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Okay, I can bring it close now again. So again, that was all mostly glutes and legs. And we're doing good. We're about 20 minutes in. We're gonna work on some exercises now that are gonna affect our hip adductors a little bit more for jumps in particular. So I'm a left-handed skater, which means I take off of this leg and I land this way. So if you're a right-handed skater, meaning you rotate, whichever way you're rotating, that's your takeoff leg. You go towards that leg, that's the leg you jump off of in that direction. So keep that in mind. But we're gonna start off with just some little marches. You can keep the arms here, on the hips, whatever feels good. I like to hold them here, just like I would for a jump takeoff. Now you can actually do quick little motions to match that if you want to. So I'm gonna do up, 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 up. And I try to switch it up. This is more of an axle arm. And then I try to take a sow cow arm. This is my sow cow arm for me. And my loop, toe. Most of the other jumps are gonna have this. There you go. If you want to, you can hold it, 2, 3, 4, switch it, 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, this is balance. 2, 3, or just keep marching. Good. Last one, 4, 3, 2, and little rest. Little rest for those hips. Now, we're gonna work on takeoff, that going through leg. So when you're doing axle, you kick it through. When you do sow cow, you kick it through. When you're doing the toe loop, you kick it through. It is really only flip, loop, and lutz where you kind of are drawing it and bringing it in. That'll be a separate exercise. So we're taking it here, and again, I'm gonna do axle arms. I'm kicking it through. I'm gonna do about 3 of each. Now I'm taking it here, and I'm trying to match my arm and leg together. And keeping my shoulder checked, I'm not opening. That will really throw you off. So I'm trying to control it. One more, fabulous. Now I'm gonna take a little forward lunge. Here, check out. This is for flip, loop, and lutz. I'm drawing it in, up, out. In, up, out. In, up, out. We're gonna do 3 more. In, up, out. In, up, out. Good. Woo. One more just for fun. Fabulous. Whew. Little break here, little breather. I think, let me double check. We got 1 more exercise to do with the resistance band, and then you get to take it off. Lucky you if you don't have it at all. So this is just for stroking exercises, basically. We're taking it behind us, lift, little pulses. I can turn sideways, just like if we're doing stroking, but way harder. So, a few more on the side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, let's get 12 on the other leg. Again, if you're doing this without the band, you can do way more. 8, or 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Good riddance to the resistance band. We're almost done standing. Okay, so now we're gonna work on basic rotation. Oh, it feels weird taking it off. I'm gonna loosen up my hips a little bit. So, if you are not rotating jumps, if you're not doing anything like over a waltz jump, bunny hop, mazurka, you're just gonna work on the first part. If you're working on your singles, then you'll work on the other part. But if you're not quite there, or if you're about to start your singles, you're allowed to do it. But do not overdo it. Do not do what is not in your practice, okay? So, feet underneath the hips. In skating, you always want to be feet underneath you when you're jumping. You don't want to jump sideways. So, set yourself up here. We're just doing a little squat and pulling the arms in going straight. That's all we're doing to start with. Now remember, I'm left-handed. I'm a left-handed skater. I rotate to the right. I land on my left leg. I guess that's what that means. Turn down our music a little bit. I want to make sure you can hear. So because I rotate this way, I have to fight the centrifugal force to keep my right shoulder in front the whole time. If you land really open, it's going to make it really hard to add combos on, and then you're more likely to fall. So if you rotate to the left, you're a right-handed skater who lands on your right leg, you got to fight that force with your left shoulder in front, okay? So make a mental note of which way you turn and rotate, and set yourself up. Little squat, pull in. There you go. Now we're going to add a little lift of the heels. Lift all the way through your toe. Try to balance on your toe picks. Imagine they're there. Because when you jump, that's where you take off. Good. Okay, now we're going to add on a little jump. Down, up, land. Down, up. See how I control the landing? Down, up, down, up. Good. We're gonna add on a little quarter rotation. I lied, quarter. Turn to face one wall, the back, the wall, back, forward. Then we'll add on a half rotation. As you do it, try to bend the one knee in the air and land. Okay, and if you have it where you're doing doubles, don't start with the doubles first. Still do the quarter, the half, singles, and doubles. But if you want to check out and then catch yourself, feel free to do so. But this is beginner friendly. So, ready? Set it up. Little jump sideways. Little jump to the back. The other side, forward. Good. Now we're going to do a half rotation. So you're going to land facing backward and land facing forward. 4 times. Ready? One more each way. There, nice and controlled. Now, if you want to go for a full single rotation, feel free to do so. Basically a loop jump. But again, if you don't have singles, just do some more halves. Ready? Nice soft bounce on the landing because we don't have our smooth edges like we do when we skate. Good. Okay. That's like next level for you guys. If you have doubles, you go for doubles. Checking our time, fabulous. It's 10:30. So now we're gonna hop down to the ground on our mat for a couple more exercises and then stretch. Okay, got my stretching band because we're going to want this. Okay, I'm starting off with easier exercises to work. We have to work on twisting our abs because that happens a lot in skating where you have to fight that. We're going to do some regular kneeling push-ups. You don't have to be on the toes. Then we're going to do some side plank hip lifts because we often, when we're skating, we have to push up. When you're skating on an edge, you don't want to have your hip out. You have to be over that edge and lean. You actually have to lean the edge. That's something, if you watch my leg here, when you skate, we never are in perfect straight lines. We're actually on edges. So you learn to hold yourself out on an edge like that. See how it's not in the straight position? That's a lot of glutes, all those little supportive muscles. So that's what our exercises are going to do. So let's make our way down seated. First exercise, Russian twists. You have the option to do these with your feet down, feet up, whatever you need. Sit up tall, nice straight spine, start to lean back. Draw that core in. We don't want to stick our belly button out. We want to close our core in. That's going to support us when we skate. Feet down, feet up. Take those hands together. Turn, turn. Good. 3, 2, and 1. There. Just a little, if you want to do those longer, or if you want to repeat these last couple exercises I do like for 3 sets, it's a good little post-skating workout. I suggest doing this portion after you skate, because this is kind of going beyond that, doing some core and some upper body and stretching. It is better to stretch when your muscles are as warm as possible. Okay, now we got our kneeling push-ups. Nothing crazy here. We're gonna take, you have options here. You can do a wide stance push-up. I personally like to take a narrow stance where you make a triangle with your hands, because it's just more similar to that pulling in position when you jump. We don't jump like this. We jump here, nice and controlled. So, not too many of these. Roll it out, nice and straight. We're just going for 8. Elbows out, in. Focus on your breath here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as you lower down. Good, keep going. Almost done. Final one here. Good. Now, we did this exercise last week as well. It's one of my favorites. We're coming down to our side. Now, see, I'm not relaxed here. I'm not on the beach. I'm not chilling. I'm activating all these supportive side muscles. This elbow is right underneath my shoulder. This knee, I don't want it too far forward. I want to be in a straight line. So, straight line from this here, this shoulder, all the way down to that bottom knee. Top leg can stay lifted the whole time if you've got it in you, or you can keep that toe on the ground, but we're lifting and lowering. And feel like you're pushing the hips up and forward. Three, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it over to a seated for our tricep dips. Now, tricep dips. If you need to do them seated with your feet on the ground, that is fine. Fingertips aim towards those toes. See how I'm rounded right now? You want to squeeze those shoulders. It almost helps too if you kind of look straight up at the sky instead of down like this, because it helps you keep your spine a little straighter. Or kind of like where the ceiling meets the wall, that crease there. So you want to take those elbows straight back, not out like this. We do not want to put damage into our shoulders. So if you cannot do these without doing them wrong, do not do this to your body. Be gentle, be careful. You can always grab weights or resistance band and do overhead tricep extensions instead. So elbows straight back. And again, you can start here. If you're already feeling it here, you stay here. If you have it in you, lift those hips up. Now I am slightly rounded here, but that's just because my hips are lifted. Good. Last one. Whew. Swing the hips over to the other side. We're bending that bottom leg. Again, we're not rounded and relaxed here. We're lifting up through that shoulder, engaging our core, elbow underneath the shoulder. Our shoulder to our knee is a straight line. And lift that top leg if you want to. Lift. Push those hips up and forward. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Good job. Hopefully that was nice. Not too crazy difficult here. Reminder, some of the ground exercises, even the standing exercises we did, I suggest always doing the range of motion before you get on the ice. But everything else, if you want to leave it to after you skate for extra conditioning, that is perfectly fine. And it's great also to do these exercises on a day that you're not skating to still activate all the same muscles, get that muscle memory, and stretch. It's time to stretch now. Go ahead and make your way to lying down. And loosen up those hips first, side to side. Fabulous. We're taking that band around the foot, straighten out the other leg, and we're starting with straightening and bending that knee. Trying to get that knee towards the chest. Good. And then we're holding it there. We're going to stay here a minute. In fact, set a timer for 1 minute. There. I have a timer set and we are going to hold it here. A lot of skating spins and spiral positions require kind of hyper flexibility. So stretching is really important for that. But it's also correct stretching that's important for that. If you do not hold your stretches for like about a minute or longer, if I were, doing this on my own, I'd actually hold these for 3 minutes each, but we would be here all day if we did that, so I'm not going to put you through that. But, put on a podcast, an audiobook, a YouTube video, whatever you need, and hang out and hold your stretches at the end of the day when your body's all as warm as possible. We'll also be adding on a stretch where we come to lying down on our stomach to work on arching our back. You see my timer just went off, so now I'm going to hold that band closest to the foot, same arm, same leg. And I'm going to repeat the alarm for a minute and start to open it out to the side. Now I kind of feel like I'm pulling that foot closer with that same arm as leg. And then the opposite arm, I'm also pulling it, but I kind of like to take it behind my head. Just breathing and opening up that hip. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing because I'm wearing black and my yoga mat is black. I feel like I'm blending in. But if you're a figure skater doing this workout, I would love to hear any questions regarding certain things you would like exercises for. I'm here to help. I found things throughout the years. Go ahead, we're switching position. So now I'm going to switch my hands where they're placed, because we're taking it across the body. This will be a twist and an IT band stretch. Go ahead and take it across. Notice I don't let the foot rest on the ground. I'm not fully releasing it yet. I kind of ease into it. And then once I feel like that twist in the lower back is stable, I'm able to let go with the hand and just hold it same arm, same leg. And again, I take it behind my head. Keeps it a little bit of more of an open position, like it would be when you're performing. But like I was saying, I've skated for almost 30 years now, but I'm also a fitness instructor, specifically with barre and yoga. So it's a lot of Pilates inspired and ballet inspired fitness. I've just found a lot of little exercises that I feel personally made skating easier. I kind of noticed, I'm like, hey, I can do things that I didn't used to be able to do because now I have the musculature to do so. So there's a way to improve your skating without just being on the ice and your overall health. I do things more evenly on each side of the body. Release that foot, we're bringing it in, taking that band off the foot. We got to do the other leg so we're nice and even. Go it a little bit. And you can get a stretching band just like this, like they have them at Five Below. You can use an old, belt if you have one. You can use a towel. You don't need the fanciest equipment to get this work done. There, now I'm going to hold it here for a minute. Yeah, put your questions in the chat if you have any, or in the comment section below. Breathe into those tight spots. If you are having a hard time holding this because of the tightness, pull it back a little bit. You don't need to go beyond wherever you first feel a stretch. That's where you hold these stretches and teach your muscle spindle to relax and let you go further. Stretching is a slow and steady progress. You don't just wake up one day flexible. You got to work at it a little bit more every day. It's like brushing your teeth. You got to keep doing it. Okay, we're opening it up to the side now. Switching one hand close to the foot, one hand at the other end of our stretch here. Remember, I'm pulling that foot down and then pulling it in towards my head with the opposite arm. But I personally feel, as someone who also grew up doing ballet, and was a point dancer briefly for a couple of years. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. I also feel these exercises really help in ballet perspective as well, because a lot of it is, keeping proper posture, opening and closing of the hips. It's a different way of exercising, in skating, ballet, other very performative types of fitness. You don't get the opportunity to be hunched over, breathing heavy, or show how much work you're putting into it. You have to play it off like it's all fine and dandy. Okay, we're switching hand placements and we're crossing over the body. I'm gonna set the alarm. For that twist, again, hold it here first, lift it. And then as that lower back releases, you can lower it down. Trying to keep both shoulders on the ground, taking it behind my head for a nice open position. Almost done with our stretching portion. After this, we're going to come onto our front. Last few slow, deep breaths. Especially if you're doing these stretches right after practice, you can kind of reflect on how you did in practice, what things you did well, what things you worked on, and little bits of progress that are made, or what needs to be worked on. Good release. Kind of make a mental note of what you need to do at your next practice. Okay, I'm gonna turn off our alarm. We're almost done. We're coming to lying on our front here. I can feel my hair got really poofy after laying down. Lying on our front here. You can do a little baby cobra position if you need to. Oh, I got a nice crack in my back. We're gonna bring one forearm forward in front of us, reach for those toes, and bring it down. You can rest that forehead on the ground. We're just stretching out the quad first. Breathe into it. A few more seconds on this side, but we're going to switch in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we didn't hold that a minute, but you'll see why. Go ahead and take it over the other side. Breathe into it. A few more on the side. I like to think about trying to push my knee into the ground and push my foot into my hand. It'll actually intensify that stretch just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to reach for both feet. This is the sneaky part here. Flexing that foot, lift up. Why we're not on the ground in a bridge position in this instead is because this lifting and squeezing is what you do in skating. It's more of an active stretch. Good, release. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders. Press up to cobra. Tuck that chin, roll it back to a child's pose. And roll it up, tuck those toes, down dog. This is a good one. I like to walk my hands a little further forward, really get those calves and hamstrings stretched out. Try to arch my back a little bit. Good, walk it towards the feet into that forward fold. And roll it up. Whew. Okay, and we're all done. I hope you enjoyed that little bit different way of working out. I've been considering doing some pre-filmed type workouts for figure skating, or kind of focusing more of my videos towards that, because everyone can do them, but it's great for figure skaters to have an accessible format of, you know, getting in their off-ice training. Okay, let's see if there were any questions. No questions. Okay, well, hopefully we get some comments of people, you know, if anyone's wondering about anything for specific things you're doing on the ice, jumps, spins, spread eagles, whatever you need to do. But I hope you enjoyed this workout. Hope you had fun with me. In fact, I gotta turn off the workout. There we go. Fabulous. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I don't have any live stream workouts scheduled for the next month yet. I'm still kind of figuring out my schedule and where, when, what things I can do. So, you know, what is that? I think there's like a huge bird in my front yard. Yeah, sorry, so distracted. But yeah, let me know what kind of workouts you want to do. I'm considering kind of doing a cycle of yoga, ballet, kickboxing, and then some kind of cross training for figure skating, and kind of doing a light workout and then a harder workout and then a light workout and then a harder workout. So that's kind of the game plan for upcoming live streams. But I hope you had fun. Have a lovely weekend. I'm going to turn you around. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I'll see you in the future for another workout. Bye, everybody. Subscribe.